What's up guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Mighty Max build series. Today is all about air jacks. So here we got a set of Nuke Performance competition jacks, and these are the low pressure units, meaning that we can use them with just compressed air. So if we go to the track, we can just bring an air compressor or an air tank with us. We don't have to lug around a nitrogen tank. So it's dual purpose, you know, I can fill up tires, do a boost leak test, and jack up my truck. When I ordered these jacks, there's a lot of accessories that I could have gotten as well. And I kept it relatively minimalist, but I did make sure to get these mounts here. Now this is before I had the CNC table, but these are still gonna save us a ton of time. It's a nice, cool, slim design, and we can just cut these down and make it fit. It should be a lot quicker than designing an all new mount and then cutting them, etc. And we got some air hose here. We got some air fittings for both the top of each jack and for connecting the lines accordingly. And then we have a fitting to fill them up, which is over there on the truck. And now, of course, we need to figure out where we're gonna put them. On a lot of race cars, you guys may have seen that people put air jacks on the A pillars and the B pillars or the C pillars of the cage, depending on the setup. Now, that'd be great and all, but if we were gonna try to put this here, it doesn't work for a lot of reasons. We got a really small cab, so we lose a bunch of leg room. We have an outrigger because this is a cab on frame originally. So underneath this roll bar or this A-pillar bar, there is an outrigger, a 2x4 piece of rectangle that runs from here to the original truck frame, which is somewhere in this area. So it wouldn't work there. And then of course we have our wheel tub, which has been pulled in over an inch from factory already, and we can't fit it up there because it's big. Obviously it won't go there. And then here, the last place we could put it, we have a door bar. So inside the cab for the front air jacks is not going to work. Now, in conjunction with that, we also can't mount them below the main hoop for the exact same reason. There's an outrigger that runs in that way, and on this side, there's just not enough room to fit the jack in place. But that's not a big deal, because I think I have a pretty good spot for them. So the bottom line is we're gonna have to run the jacks on the exterior of the truck. And that's not a problem, a lot of people do it, so no big deal. Now, where do we put them? Well, back here, I think is the best location. And I'd love to tuck them right here and take our little square or rectangular bracket and just weld it in this corner, and then the jack could live right there. And we just adjust it up or down or whatever, it'd be pretty sick. But this is exactly where my exhaust runs. It comes up through here. It's definitely gonna hit this, I now realize. And then, you know, we gotta redo it since we have the subframe in here now. But that pretty much leaves us with running it right here. So I was either gonna cut this bed mount off, which I really don't wanna do because we have our fuel cell mounted to it and it holds our bed in an OEM spot that I know is correct. So rather than change it and risk moving it or something like that, just fuck it, we'll just leave it there. But we're gonna plate the end of it, and then I think we can put the jack right here like this. This gives us a ton of range of adjustments. You know, we can't really go that high, but we have maybe 1.5 inches from here to the bottom side of the bed support that goes across. And then in this direction, we have as much room as we need, provided we don't go too low and then drag it on the ground or, you know, hit debris and stuff like that. I played around with a few mounting ideas, and pretty much no matter what we use, whether it's those provided Nuke brackets or if I make my own, it's gonna have to go to a flat plate of some sort. We can't just weld to the inside of this because I can't get in there, and it would also look, you know, really bad. So I went ahead and cut these plates right here out of 1/8 inch. And I think this one fits well. This is like a day ago now, so let's see. Voila, something like that. So we're just gonna cap it, which surprisingly makes it look a lot nicer at the same time. And then we'll weld to that with some other sort of contraption. So I'm gonna take a bunch of measurements off this, and then we're gonna hop into SolidWorks, and I'm gonna play with some ideas for the best and most effective way to do this, because I don't know if I wanna use the Nuke brackets. We might use them, but let's go see what we can come up with. So you can mount air jacks a couple different ways, and Nuke has this ideal center option, which I really like, and of course I have the one on the left and the one on the right, but I did not order these tubes, and I don't remember why. However, we can't find anyone locally that's gonna cut these fast and do this tube laser stuff right here, so we're gonna have to settle for just a local piece of tubing. I was able to find some from a drive shaft shop, so before I go buy it, I wanna play with the mounting ideas and see if it's something we can do. With that being said, I have modeled the bed mount. This is the side of the bed mount. It's a lot bigger than it needs to be because obviously we don't care if it's dimensionally correct. We just need this angle here to be correct, which it is. We've got this over here, which is our tube. This is what the dry shaft shop has on hand. This is a 4-inch OD tube. Then we move to this. The tube would go through here like so, and then it would weld to the bottom of the frame. And then we would do one on top as well. This one right here looks the exact same, just different dimensions. I put them all in an assembly, and this is what we got. You can see how the way it would lay up right here looks relatively good. And then if we rotate the whole assembly, we would get a bead down the entire side of our 4-inch diameter tube. It's about 7 inches tall for reference. And then the bottom is the exact same story. It's gonna be a lot more work. It's a lot more welding than doing the supplied brackets, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut these pieces out, and yeah, we'll tack them together and see what it looks like. But I first need to go continue prepping our frame rail. So while the plasma table is cutting, I'm going to go ahead and prep all our tubing. We'll weld in our flat plates, and then we'll have some pieces ready to go. New plate's all tacked in. I'm gonna go grab the pieces from the plasma table and see if they fit. Here are all my pieces cut, prepped, and ready to rip. The idea is it's gonna sit right there like that. Air jack drops in from the top, locking collar top and bottom. So here we have it, we're fully tacked. You can see we're really tight between this inside radius here and the outside diameter of this tube, but it doesn't touch. And the way it fits up, it's just like that. And then with the air jack in place, bam. Look at that shit. Air jack mount is all finished out. Came out pretty nice. Now we can go finish weld the cap plate to the side of the bed mounts, and then we can tack this in place to make sure everything looks good. We are done with both sides. Now they're not completely welded, but they're welded enough so that we can test them because I just want to see them work. You'll notice we have a driver's side. I did a little rinse and repeat on this side over there, obviously just mirrored it, and we got them the exact same height left to right. The welds on top on both sides came out really bad. You can see that versus the welds right below it, quite a bit different quality. And there's just a bunch of shit popping out of this old metal. There's probably bed liner that I couldn't grind out all the way. Whatever it is, I don't care, I'm gonna grind it off and then I'll run another bead on top as like a clean like finish pass just for looks. Otherwise, they came out sick. I used a smaller filler on this side. I used 16th inch filler on this side versus 3/32 on the other side. I think this side looks better. Very happy with it. So let's let them cool down. I'll put the jacks in and we're gonna put some air through these things and just see what it looks like to have air jacks in the back. Here we go. Oh shit. Damn, that is way higher than I expected. We have success, at least in the rear. Oh, it's so dope. Nice and high, look at that. Pretty damn cool. We could also run the jacks down. They are at the highest they ever need to be. They are exactly flush or on the same plane as the underside of the frame rail, so that looks really sick. Damn, that is so cool. I'm so stoked. I've always wanted to have these jacks set up, and now we do, and it's awesome. I gotta weld out the rest of these, obviously, and then move to the front. So I'm gonna go to bed, but I will pick up in just a second on the front end, and we will get to it. Overall, very, very pumped. So good night, but I'll see you in a sec. Let's move to the front. Good morning, it is the next day, and I spent a little bit of time setting this thing up. Got rid of the intercooler, covered the motor with some plastic, just to feel a little better about what we're doing here. And I think I got a pretty solid plan. So to explain it, I got this plate here clamped with a C-clamp, and that's gonna be my bottom. That's my lowest point because that is where our, if you have an S chassis, your tension rod bracket would be. In my case, it's fixed mounted, but it serves the same purpose, holds the front of the control arm. And that is our lowest point of the chassis. We have the intercooler mounts that are close, but that is the lowest point. I really don't wanna even go that low, but I just wanted an idea of how far I could go so that I could work up from there. Now we've got some more of this round tubing like we use in the back, and we're going to use this for certain. And the plan, as of now, is the same exact concept with a little bit of a different tie-in to the chassis. So that's gonna be our overall position of the jack, where the lowest point of the jack will go. And it's actually lower than the rear right now, I believe, which is nice. I just want this thing to raise, you know, be the same height or raise, not necessarily the same rate, but from the same, you know, point on the ground to the same overall height. So the best way to do that is to have the jacks mounted in a very similar spot to begin with. The plan is right now to radius cut this section here. You can see I have a small Sharpie line right here, and radius cut this in a little bit with an angle grinder and see how close we can get this assembly to our upper core support, which I also just put on with some zip ties. And then, you know, we're probably gonna do a plate that comes out like so, welds to our tube, just like the other one did. Should be very simple concept-wise, but it's gonna take some time to get it all sorted, so I'm gonna put my head down and get into it, and we'll see how well it goes. All right, after many days and trials and tribulations due to uneven factory frame rails that are very hard to work with, I've got something that I think is gonna work. You can see I cut the frame rail off quite a bit from what it used to look like. This is the factory rail assembly here, and then obviously I had a disc for my aluminum bumper support. Anyhow, I've cut a bunch of stuff off and out of my way. You can see there's some surface rust inside that I've tried to clean up a little bit. It needs a little more work. And then we've got this plate on top here that is bent a little bit to account for a 3-degree slope in our rail that's causing the jack to not want to sit flat. We've accounted for that. This is at 0 degrees. The truck is at 0 degrees. So we're heading in the right direction. And the plan is to have another plate at the bottom, basically the exact same thing that we did in the rear, but this is what we're gonna put in there. So this plate comes from the underside. It's got a small relief cut for our intercooler mount there. and it will slide up inside like so. And that is basically what we're looking at. And then we're gonna cap the front and the back and the side, take it all. Should look pretty sick. Then I have another cap that's gonna go in there on top, which looks like this, although I may redo this piece. This is gonna go like that. I've since welded the inside so it doesn't fit as well as it did before, but we'll grind that, we'll get this to fit nice and clean, and then we'll use some bigger filler and we'll go around that. We are adding the air jacks, but at the same time, I switched to 3/16 from 1/8 inch so that I can also reinforce this. I don't know why 8 years ago me decided to land this bar on this tiny stuff, which looks, you know, like this. It doesn't look terrible, but it looks pretty weak in comparison to the frame rail. So, you know, like I said, 8 years ago me thought this was a good idea for some reason that I can't remember. It obviously was not, but we can't cut this and move it. It's a whole nother project. It's like essentially building a new chassis. So instead, we are adding this plate here, which will then reinforce it. I've never had problems with this, but it's a great place to have a problem. I don't know what I was thinking. So that should help. Cool story, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna get back to it, get this thing boxed in, everything trimmed out, and I'll show you the finished products, and then we will build the other side as well. A little bit of a progress update. The bottom is now tacked as well, and then I made this small gusset piece that's gonna sit inside here like this, and it's gonna make contact with the tube, the frame, and then the top and bottom plates. This is just because of how long it is. It's probably overkill, but I wanna go ahead and do it. Now I'm gonna weld that in. We got some beads where we can get them all around. We got this seam up here all welded up. So it's gonna be really, really stout. And then on the back side, just got the plate tacked in for now. This is pretty much what it's gonna look like. I think once it's painted black and there's a headlight above it and we're not sitting here at eye level, it won't be so crazy looking. It does look a bit obnoxious, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't really know what else to do, so we're doing this. And here's my front plate here. It's got a nice slope in it on this side to account for where the top is bent. So I don't think it's quite fitted yet to fit in properly now that I've welded the rest of it, but basically this is gonna drop in just like that. We'll do our cap on the side, we'll do a cap on the top, and then we will be done. And then we're gonna rinse and repeat for the other side, and it's gonna be a hell of a job. But you know, we're well on our way to having this done, and the goal is to wrap it up today, get this thing on all 4 air jacks. It should look sick. Very happy to get this thing wrapped up finally. All right, we have one completely done with the exception of a small weld here. I'm trying to go the same direction all around, and I haven't been able to get to it yet, but I will. Otherwise, it's completely welded out, and we have successfully added a shitload of rigidity to this down bar. It also looks very crazy. Compared to that side, you know, it's extremely obnoxious. But remember, it's low on the truck, and there wasn't a lot of other ways to do this, in my opinion. I could have maybe done a dimple dyed plate here and used like thinner material, but we're gonna have to run our bash bar mount onto this, which will help break up this big flat plane. It should look better. And this side doesn't look too bad. Everything welded really well, all things considered. It's a great experience positionally, and you know, just putting a lot of heat into something like this, moving around, it's good to do. So I'm glad I'm getting this seat time, so when I work on that project, I'll be ready for it. So yeah, here we are. I'm gonna add the bumper mount, and then I'm gonna move to that side and do it all over again, and then yeah, we'll put the jacks in. I got some new flanges cut, and we got our slash cut here, and it is good to go. It fits fantastic. Let's get to it. Driver's side bumper mount is mostly welded on. We'll finish weld it here in the end once we get this side fixed and all that's ready to weld out. And now we are ready to pull this plate out of the way and start chopping this side up. We are done with our initial cut and trim. Now that that's done, we can grab a flat disc and start to shape it all so it fits our new cut pieces. And then before I cap anything off, I will knock out any loose surface rust inside this frame rail and hit it with some rust converter spray. And then we'll cap it, and you know, we should be good to go. Holy shit, we are finally here. All the air jack mounts are done. They're completely welded out. Everything is dialed. The bumper is back on. It's sick. It looks good. Looks like it did before. And now we can install the jacks. This one's still in there. And I ran an airline on that side, but I gotta go ahead and get to this side, modify our rear airlines that we initially installed. I ordered some new hose to make sure I got enough and get this thing fully plumbed. And then we are going to lower it on the ground, fill the son of a bitch with air, and watch this thing raise up. It's gonna be cool. All of my lines are connected. I went ahead and put the grill on and the upper core support. They're just held in place with zip ties, but it gives you a better idea of how visible these air jack mounts are gonna be, especially on this side where we still have our cold side charge pipe. And it's really not visible at all. You can't even really see it. There's gonna be a headlight that goes here. The intercooler goes here, so there'll be, you know, some space taken up there. And then obviously on this side, we have a hot pipe and the big intake tube that wraps through. So they're really not gonna be visible at all. And then they're gonna be painted black on top of that. I also have inner fenders that haven't been seen for a long time on the channel, but those will go in there and kind of clean that space up. So with the exception of, you know, rerouting a couple of the airlines and stuff like that, it's gonna look really good, I think. I'm very happy about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and air this thing up fully and see what she looks like. We have successfully achieved hovercraft status. I am so stoked. It looks so sick. The height is perfect. Everything is dialed. We can get into the front. We can do brake work, suspension work, control arm adjustments, alignment stuff. Whatever we need, we can get to it. On the rear, same shit. We can pull the tires off, swap them out. I love it. It's so dope. Very, very happy with this. Now, before I close this video out, I want to talk about the air valve system and the safety stuff because it is important in case you lose air pressure that you don't die. With every one of these air jack kits, Nuke includes these air jack stands. And these are sick because they are radius to wrap around the air jack. You can push them in with this handle. It's very easy to do. And then you can let the air pressure out and the jack stand will catch. There's a small gap right there, so it's going to drop a little bit and then it will hold the truck up or car or whatever it is you got. And there's no way for it to fall any farther. I've got all 4 jack stands in place so I can disconnect my air line. And now when I open the valve, it's gonna release all the air and it's gonna set itself down on all the jacks. With the jack stands in place, you can see it drop down slightly, but not enough to matter. We can still rotate our wheels. We can get into everything, we can take everything off. And we don't have to worry about this thing falling now and breaking our legs. To get it off the jack stands, we just air it back up and then pull them out. I want to give you guys one last look at the front jack to ground clearance. It's fine, it doesn't really need to be changed at all, but if it did, we could always go a little higher and still have enough jack travel to get the truck off the ground. Like I said before, I'm going to add a front lip splitter combo deal, so it will hide them entirely, but clearance-wise, I don't think we're going to have any problems at all. With that, our air jack installation video is concluded. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this video. I hope it helps you. Maybe you'll buy some jacks, maybe you already got them and you're ready to finally go out in the shop and get them installed. You too deserve to have a hovercraft, and I hope this video helps you get there. I also want to give a massive shout out to Nuke Performance again for hooking me up with these parts. They've supported my projects and my builds and ultimately my passion for a while now, and I'm grateful for it. Peace out.